Did a really good job at World Champs. I think we did everything we could. Like, I loved that week with Gracey. The result came, so that was really rewarding.
We revved up the engine now. We got it in Loudenvielle.
We're now a week later, pretty close to Andorra. Loudenville's not far, but everything seems very different. It's almost back in the trenches. It's pouring with rain. The track's really, really hard, but that's good. That's downhill, isn't it?
World Champs is cool, eh? Yeah, it's flipping cool. Probably the most happy I've been after a pretty bad result. A bit of neck pain, back pain, hip pain, but
That's what tissue's here for.
Gracey made up for it. That was good. And I'm recovered and ready to go. Like last year this was all fresh, and now they've like added some berms and everything's settled. It looks pretty good. I look at it and I'm like, there's no ways you can ride that. Then I see one guy do it, I'm like, whatever you do, just don't touch the brakes.
Yeah. We were like trying to find different places to land last year because the hole was like the size of me.
It's gonna be like a story in the air after that.
From all the flat, just starts to bend. You have to stay high. It's gonna be actually flipping hard to get there.
Go inside and go in between the stumps.
There are sections that look amazing, and then you get to the bottom, and then it's a bog hole before a jump.
A little bit of a chaos this morning, but
Right then, young Gracey.
I'm good to go. It's all good. Let's see how the dirt and track is, and then yeah, go from there. I was feeling really good after Andorra, obviously, getting fourth, and yeah, we showed up at Loudenvielle, and then it was pouring rain, obviously, super muddy. And then I didn't really feel that good on my bike.
The track here is track of two halves. The top half's pretty flat. It's about keeping speed and generating speed and momentum. But in these conditions, it's actually quite hard to do the features. And then it starts to steepen up, and the way the soil is here, it's like really deep mud, really. It's not sandy in any way. So it forms these really big ruts.
You've got sections on the track that haven't got down to the bedrock. It's a new track. It's a slip and slide when it gets wet.
I'm actually feeling alright, like I'm liking it. Maybe I just like a challenge.
When everything slows down and you're picking your way down the track and trying to generate speed, I think that's quite a buzz for a rider, as opposed to a track that's not especially very difficult. I think he's really positive. He came down after first run and said his bike wasn't perfectly balanced, made a couple of changes with Tom, went back up, came down buzzing. A bit less pressure on this one. Maybe enjoy it a bit more.
First day of practice was as normal, but then with the weather changing, they made the decision to stop the practice at lunchtime. So there was only one session, and that session consisted of 2 runs. And we were told that was to allow for track repairs, to preserve the track. But then when we came back the next morning, nothing had been done. As soon as the tyres got back on that wet, soggy ground, the problems just reoccurred straight away.
I don't know what course maintenance they've done or what they've changed. It rained through the night, so whatever they probably try to quickly fix is going to be soft and boggy anyway. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that unfolds. I think we're still unsure really what's going to happen, but now doesn't seem like there's a qualifier or a semi-final. We're just going to cut straight to 30 this afternoon. So we're probably only going to get another 2 hours and then it's racing.
Gracey would have dropped in probably in the last couple of minutes. It's going to be a messy track. It's been wet all night, and now it is sunny. We might see some peanut butter and some mist, so we're going to be right here for her to get as many laps in as possible.
The sport's really hard. Semi-finals day practice. First lap, I came down pretty much crying. Oh my God.
They should be opening the track up now. And I'll see you back. Just see you in the finish line.
I can't ride the second half. Like, I can't clip it.
Well, your feet are just plugging up.
Not ideal, but
Just gonna smile through it.
yeah, I'm trying. But the top was so fun. Like the ruts were like this deep.
So there's no speed.
Nothing.
She just can't get clipped in at all with the mud, so she's riding back to put on some flats. Yeah, I'm just looking for them now.
I switched to flats, but I didn't have flat shoes, so I just rode my New Balances and just sent it. The woods was actually sick, like I was ripping it up, and I felt good. And then, I hadn't hit the jumps that day. I hit them first day practice. I'm a bit scared to hit them on flats. I should have just hit the jumps. I was like looking good. I mean, I felt pretty okay going into them. So many red flags, so you couldn't even get a full run in. I was pissed. I think everyone was pretty pissed, so.
With all those flags, so you never get a rhythm. And when you saw her riding in the wet, she looked so composed, she looked so good. That's part of the skill set of a mountain bike rider. The skill set isn't, I'm sorry it's raining, we'll all stay indoors. Not one person in the UK stays indoors when it's raining.
We only did like 5 runs before, I guess, semifinals. I didn't feel prepared at all.
I feel like Gracey got the short end of the straw on her qualifier.
Gracey didn't have the best run, granted, but she was 4th. And Phoebe was the fastest at that point. Those 9 reruns come in, and 8 of them go ahead of Phoebe. They're an hour and a half later on a bone-dry track where you could have changed your tyres. It's at the organiser's discretion when those reruns occur. From that point of view, that's a bit of a bitter pill. You know, I think that run that Gracey put in would have scraped her in. That would have been the 9th, 10th place run.
I felt sorry for Gracey because that shouldn't have happened. They should have had a better plan for that.
You did so well, I know. It sucks. It's not fair.
Like racing, there's a big element of luck. Sometimes you're on the good side of it, sometimes you're on the bad side of it. It happens. Conditions can change all the time. We're in the mountains. We're in a sport where you're pushing so hard, you need a bit of luck for everything to come right.
It was just smooth, like no fireworks, just no big mistakes, just clean.
I don't think the team have necessarily any expectation. We just want him to do his best. Clarke probably feels if he's in a big truck, he's got Greg, Gracey, his teammates around him all the time and all the support that he wants to elevate. But he has. Like if you look at his results through the year, they've just got steadily better, and to just miss out on qualifying in Leger, to be 31st, and then to come here, out-qualify Greg, you know, I think secretly he was buzzing.
Let's go! That was such a good one.
Thanks.
Oh, bro!
If you knocked me out on this well, it's done.
It feels good to be riding on a Sunday, first time of the year. It feels like less stressful, really, just a relief to be out there, so I think it's gonna feel good.
It's been really interesting the last 2 months because as my role within the team to direct this team, I've been looking for new riders, and I know what we're going to provide from the back end is really going to elevate these riders. It's kind of building this dream team that I wished I had had when I was racing. So while this might be my last race in Europe, for me I'm still thinking 2025, building this team up, how are we going to support the riders to the next level.
Running so fast, you don't even have to pedal up there.
Before the season, my expectation definitely wasn't that I was not going to be making finals most of the time. That's not really where you want to be. That's not super fun when you don't even get to race on Sunday. So I think it's the pressure of your own expectations mainly is what you feel as a rider.
a really good last run.
That was probably my last World Cup in Europe, but at the same time, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be here next year.
You're prepared for a certain track, and when that rain comes in the afternoon, it does catch you by surprise.
So when we got up there, it was foggy, but it was like a dry fog. We were warming up, and Alan was saying that it was raining at the bottom, and I had mud tyres.
As I got outside the warm-up tent, it just came down.
And there wasn't time to do the tyre, the mudguard and the peak, so I just told Greg he had to pick. So we did the mudguard and we let the tyre pressure down 3 psi in the front. By the time I finished that, we had about a minute before the start in the gate, and off we went.
We knew what the track was going to be like in the wet, to a certain degree, which sections of track you need to be cautious on, and it was like still hard and just glossy on top. I made a few really stupid mistakes where I couldn't clip in and lost a lot of carrying speed. Finished 15th, moved into the top 20 overall. For a season where, yeah, I'm definitely proud of 19th, but considering having been injured and trying to come back through, to be 19th in the world, it's not the worst season. People are like, oh, it's your last World Cup in Europe. I'm not dying. We still got a team next year, we're still in the race. I'm just not one of the horses.
It does feel like there's been enough invested in it through my own time and like training and stressing, and but also from Norco that you want to like deliver on that. Thinking like I'm just here as like a side gig. Like I do always want to hold myself to the same sort of expectation as like a factory full-time racer. When I took a step back, I remember that was the best weekend of the year for sure.
But then when he puts in a result like that and out-qualifies all these names, he should be really happy with that. Because I know I am. I think that's fantastic. He's really shown himself to be top 20, top 25 material in the world, and the guy's an engineer for Norco. That's pretty good.
Kurt was amazing, eh? They put it all together. It was great to see him in that final. No, I wasn't emotional coming into here. My wife and I had a little moment when we were watching the finish area, and she's like, oh, this is your last European World Cup. And I was like, we're going to be back here next year with the team, and I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I'm still going to be pushing this team to the next level.